Insane how like mental fighting is. My wrestling coach showed me a picture of my boy. And I just fell apart, man. I got all teary eyed. Oh yeah, got this. Don't worry, buddy. I felt so good. Like the primal instinct in me took over, you know. You want to take money out of this kid? No. Take food, take anything from him? Not a chance. Mentally, I'm where I need to be mentally. Oh man, I gotta fight him. Nah, you gotta fight Cowboy, the lion. And that's how I feel.
Hello! This is a story that resonates with a lot of fighters. Daniel Cormier unable to make a world team, but when his daughter, Kaden, passed away, distraught, destroyed, he found light, representing her in competition. With it, he became near invincible, a man we recognize as pound-for-pound king. Whether it be Habib for his father and people, Dustin Poirier for his significant other, or even Muhammad Ali, to walk free as an equal with all men. Having something or someone to represent it gives us power. It allows us to shift away from the fear of what may happen to us, because in the moment, we feel it. The risk of failure, the risk of coming short, imagining that pain, it far outweighs anything that could possibly happen to us. To be able to give your life for something bigger than ourselves, that is what makes men invincible. That line where we are willing to lose everything for something greater, one very few men are willing to cross. When you understand this, it's simple to see why one without purpose will usually falter versus one with. The one without their mind will find excuses, a way out, another option as time. Nature erodes them, walking on coals, the thinking mind it will take over, discouraging the soul's endeavor. That moment of give, that moment where the will snaps, even if it is just for an instant, the feet, they will find themselves off course. Whatever the reason is, our main goal is typically self-preservation. That is human nature, to think first of ourselves before anyone or anything else. That is a defense mechanism that has allowed the fruition of our species up until now. Many would call it being smart. We are willing to bow out of danger if it means we will live another day. Unfortunately though, that cost of doing so is often regret. After all, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Even if we may live another day, we had to sacrifice something in order for that to happen. Someone or something gained from our loss. In truth, it is a useful survival strategy. Thus, how could I shame something so innate to our human condition? The truth remains though, those who are willing to give everything are the only ones presented the opportunity to attain everything. This is what we now find with Cowboy Cerrone. Versus Tiller Masvidal, you could see moments of doubt, of give when he was struck. But the person he is today, when he reaches his peak state, he looks near invincible. His timing, his resolution for victory, it doesn't matter what you do to him. For his son, Daxon Danger Cerrone, Cowboy will give everything in order to become a father his son can proudly look up to. This was the missing piece to the puzzle. Cowboy has always been very physically imposing. At 6 feet 1 inch, a giant 155er, technically sound, armed with Gaido Jutsu, Jiu-Jitsu, and Muay Thai. Inogo looks like just a gatekeeper, but a real contender for the belt. This glints insight into every father working 2 jobs for their children, the sacrifices they had to make in order to survive so that we may pursue the luxury of finding meaning ourselves. The most finishes, the most wins, the most knockdowns, the most post-fight bonus awards. Cowboy is already cemented as a king, a great of this sport. With Daxon Danger Cerrone though, his new, higher purpose, we are witnessing him reach another level of greatness. With that said, let us take a closer glance at his style. Donald Cowboy Cerrone stands very Muay Thai, square stance, a taller posture, and there's a reason for this. In kickboxing and or Muay Thai, you don't really see nearly as much head movement as you would in boxing, and that is because moving off center line is hard countered by the Thai style of roundhouse. Pivoting in with the hips and hitting with the shin. If a Thai realizes that you have a habit of slipping, he might read it, then use it against you. That's pretty bread and butter to Cowboy Cerrone. Here, observe how he shows his right hand, and instinctively, his opponent moves offline to the outside of the punch. Also note the side he's guarding. This opens him up and moves him right into a powerful Thai roundhouse. If you level change to enter with a jab, here, Cowboy pulls your attention with the lead, then enters with a beautiful pendulum kick. This is virtually instinctive to Cowboy's style. He not only possesses a dangerous level of snap with either kick, the moment you level change or slip. If he reads it, the momentum of your head movement may be used against you. Pair that with the convenience of the head now being closer. Boom! Understanding this, it's easy to see why Alexander Hernandez, a fighter who excelled at finding his range with head movement and level changes, it's why he had such a rough night versus Cowboy Cerrone. He continuously brought his head closer to the shin and knee specialist. This is pretty basic, whether it be Muay Thai, karate, kickboxing, or even Taekwondo. You don't see a lot of head movement, if at all. Kicks do typically leave you more vulnerable to a takedown, but that is rarely an issue with Cowboy's level of jiu-jitsu. With 28 wins and 0 losses in Muay Thai, Cowboy's upright posture is a derivative of the same philosophy forged to avoid getting head-shinned or kneed. The most common form of head movement you see in this arena are pulls, but the Thais have tailored it more specifically for kicks, often looking like they're in the Matrix with how far back some of these fighters go. With that said, Jorge Masvidal and Darren Till, one of the things these two fighters have in common is that they stand very upright. Jorge does use head movement, but versus Cerrone, he and Till had very similar game plans despite being very different stylistically. Donald Cowboy Cerrone likes to throw low kicks. His style heavily emphasizes kicking, so they sought to catch the kick and time against it. That's where these two fighters were nightmare matchups. High pressure, very imposing before they even throw a punch due to their high-tier countering abilities. And the ability to step into space then find their shot with timing alone. They don't need to level change or slip to find their range. With footwork and timing, they can seize the window. Here's something I must say though. The Cerrone of now would have been a very different fight from his former self, despite Till and Masvidal holding nightmare matchup status. Cerrone looks like a completely different tier of fighter. Mentally, he now has that aura of a champion. I don't see him having that same give when he gets caught or countered. The thought of representing his son far outweighs the pain or risk of trading Colts. I don't see him stepping off that easily. Also, his arsenal has become much more complete. His jab has become clinical. When he found his groove, he timed it against Al perfectly over and over, highlighting the capacity a powerful jab has. It's a discouraging tool of control, which, when used properly, suffocates the opponent's game, which innately creates more openings off that conditioning. Also, he's gone so fluid. The snap on his jab, it looks virtually perfect. Cerrone used a beautiful tape, a distancing tool, digging into the solar plexus or other soft portions of the body. It's painful, can mess up your breathing, stifle your rhythm, but also, if a kick looks similar in chamber to that tape, it may be set up off the tape. For Sanchai, it is a question mark kick. For Cerrone, it was the same kick Anderson Silva used to finish off Vitor Belfort, Mai Gary, or front kick. Donald Cowboy Cerrone has become a fighter far more difficult to deal with than of old. He doesn't like to study footage, aside from what his coaches tell him. Instead, he approaches it the same way he does cave diving, plunging himself into the unknown. Perhaps that is what makes it so exciting for him. Maybe that is a core reason as to why we all find Cowboy Cerrone so exciting all the same. I'm excited to see what your future has in store. Thank you, Cowboy Cerrone, for this lesson. If you'd like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you if you did. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.